After. Fine, thanks. You? Yeah. Good?
How you doing?
Yeah, good. Hey.
Afternoon, everyone. Just go through some brief housekeeping. So we'll start with the broadcast section that's got no embargo, followed by an embargoed section of 10:30 p.m. tonight. No live tweeting in the broadcast section, please. As always, we'll start with Sky, and then we'll ask for a maximum of 2 questions per journalist to get through as many as we have in the time available. Becky, do you want to kick us off?
Great, good morning. And I just want to start, obviously you're playing Newcastle this weekend. What do you make of their transformation under Eddie Howe?
Yeah, I think for sure Newcastle is another team now, and I know well the manager, Newcastle manager, and we played against when he was the manager with Bournemouth, and he's a young manager, but you can see his idea about football. I think that is a really important prospect as a manager. Newcastle signed good players during the transfer window, and now for sure is another team, and we have to pay great attention on Sunday. And they lost the two games, but before they got points, and with all teams, low, medium, or top teams, and for this reason we have to pay great attention, and it won't be easy. It won't be an easy game, and but we know this, and we are trying to prepare very well the game, because you know that from now until the end there are 9 games, and every game is for us is very important to get 3 points, and because we want to finish as high as possible this league.
Yeah, I mean, talking about that, how important is it for you to get Champions League football next season in terms of your plans for the summer and in terms of keeping players like Harry Kane?
Yeah, before it's right to underline that this target is very, very difficult, and we are not the only team that want to try to do this miracle, because also there is Arsenal that in this moment has an advantage, and then there is United. United is the team that in this season are struggling a lot. Last season was Liverpool. Otherwise, in England, I continue to repeat that you play for other targets, because there are 4 teams, top four, that for me, in this moment, this club are stronger than the other, for many reasons. Chelsea, Liverpool, City, and United. Last season, Liverpool struggled to reach a place in Champions League, and but then Liverpool have taken this place, and in this season it happened to United. Now in this moment we are the teams that they have to try to stay very close at the top 4, and to try to exploit if someone failed the season. If you ask me about the past and about our possibility to reach a place in Champions League, I could say it would be very, 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 very difficult. But now, after 5 months, and I'm seeing a great improvement of my team, and now I think that we have to try to fight until the end, that we have the possibility to reach this target, and it's important to have this type of ambition, and to try also to put pressure to ourselves for this target. for sure, and to play Champions League next season, I think is important. It's important for me. It's important for the club. It's important for the players. It's important for the fans, for everybody, because to play Champions League is totally different to play Europa League or Conference League or don't play UEFA competition, and it's an important target for many reasons for the club because you for sure you can plan important things. Yeah.
I'll ask you as well, for next season there will be the 5 substitute rule. It's been rather controversial the last couple of years. What's your view on that?
My view now that it's right to take now a decision for next season, no? Because honestly, I was negative and to change the rule during the season because it was a period, a time that someone tried to change, no? To change and to bring 3 substitutions to 5. And honestly, I think that it was unfair because when you start a season and there are the rules, you can't change rules during the season. Otherwise, for sure, you give advantages top team in if you do this. Now, I think that it's okay. It's okay because other leagues and there are 5 substitutions. The most important thing for everybody to know this, and then in the summer, every team has to know very well that you have to strengthen your squad, because with the 5 substitutions, you can change totally the game during the game, tactically, physically, the physical aspect. I think in this moment only top teams can do this because they have a big squad. But the other team, I think that with 5 substitutions, and you have to try to strengthen your squad. Because, I repeat, during the game with 5 substitutions, you change. Sure, you can change the game. And you can change half team. And if the squad is strong and on the bench you have strong players, you can change. And then 5 players is this decision. Okay, is an important decision for football because I repeat, in this way on the bench you can influence the game in an important way.
Perfect. Thanks ever so much.
Hi, Antonio. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please share with us the team news. Any concerns? Any fitness updates, please?
About the news, good news for Olivier, for Skippy, and Sessegnon. They are very, very close to back with the team, and they are improving a lot. They are having training session, important training session, not still with the team, apart, but I hope next week and to have the both players with the team, and Ryan Sessegnon and Olivier Skip.
The game against West Ham looks like ages ago, but it was only 2 weeks ago. I was there at the stadium as well, and the atmosphere in terms of the connection with the fans felt really positive, especially after West Ham scored. The reaction from the fans were really positive. Is that something you feel as well from your point of view, that connection with the fans is strong and positive as it should be?
But it's vital, this connection. It's vital, this connection with our fans. I have to be honest that our fans and in every moment they are with us in a positive and negative situation. But for sure in the last 9 games, and it will be very important when we play at home to create the atmosphere, a great atmosphere that we felt in the game against West Ham, and to try to push us from the start until the end. But honestly, and we have fans that support us at home, away, in every moment. And for this reason, I continue to repeat that they deserve great satisfaction. about our performance, about the results.
Thank you.
Thanks, Niv. Ian?
Hi, Antonio, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks.
Newcastle are a very different team to the one that Spurs played earlier in the season because of the takeover and the amount of money they've now got. They're the richest club in the world. Do you see them as, from next season, being another team to be competition for Spurs, Man United and Arsenal and trying to get into the top 6, top 4?
Yeah, for sure, because we are talking about a club that now and they want to invest, and I know very well these people, and these people, if they decide to come into the football, not only to participate, but because they want to win and they want to be competitive, and for sure they want to put money to try to reinforce the team and to bring Newcastle in another level. But in England, when I speak about a tough league, a league very the difficulty is very, very high, and I want to tell this that every team want to reinforce, want to improve the team, and but not only Newcastle next season, and there are many teams. Aston Villa wants to reinforce the team, and then this league is very difficult, and for this reason you have to work very hard to try to build something important, and then to go season by season to improve the quality of your squad, to improve the quality of your squad on the an idea of football, and you have to continue this idea and to improve the quality of your squad. This is the only way to be competitive in England. Otherwise, you risk also important team, important club risk to sleep in this league, to sleep in the relegation zone, and and when happen this, and then you have to be good to fight for this target, and it's not easy. Yeah.
Is that what made you want to come back to England? Is that what makes you want to stay in England? Because when you won the trophy you won in Italy, maybe it was slightly easier. I don't know about Serie A, but you always talk about the Premier League to us as being the top league in the world, the most difficult league in the world. Is this the biggest challenge for an elite coach like you to come here and be successful?
But I always say this. Yes, it's a big challenge. It's a big challenge because in this moment maybe it's easier to win in Europe than in England, because every trophy that you have to fight to try to lift the trophy, and for example, the last final, Carling Cup, Chelsea, Liverpool. An FA Cup, maybe Manchester City against Liverpool, against Chelsea, and for the league, the first now is Man City, second Liverpool, third Chelsea, and then the fourth place is there is a battle, no? And you can understand that to win a trophy now in England is very difficult. It's very difficult because I remember very well that maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and Carling Cup was a minor trophy, no? And for the top team, and they used to this trophy to give more time young players and players that usually they don't play, no? And now every top club wants to win everything. And for this reason, and we have to know very well that this is a big challenge. This is a big challenge for us. But this type of challenge give you great emotion, and to try to build something important. And for sure. And I'm trying with the work to help the club to build something important for the present and for the future.
George?
Antonio, hello. Can you just clear up what happened with Cristian Romero in the international break? He had to go back to South America.
Yeah.
How do you feel about
Yeah,
it?
but I have to I didn't still understand the situation. Yeah, I spoke with the players and I asked about, and it was very curious. But I was the coach now of a national team, and for this reason I prefer don't answer about the situation. For sure, it was a strange decision for the players. But now he's here, and he had good training session with us in this week. And the most important thing is this, and Argentina is qualified for the World Cup, and I think this is the most important thing.
Just in terms of your match and top four, if you win on Sunday, you go level with points with Arsenal, and then it's pressure on Arsenal. Is that fair to say? Because they play Monday, so that's why you have to win almost.
Yeah, first of all, we have to win for us, not to look the other, and in this way you build a winning mentality. You have to look to yourself, and not to think what happened. For sure, if you get 3 points and you give continuity, you show that you are becoming a stable team, and the table become very interesting for us. And but we have to win for us, for our fans, for the work that we are doing for the club, and this must be the first target. And then for sure, when you win, and for sure you put pressure to the other, and it's happening with Arsenal, no? In the last period, because Arsenal, apart the game that lost with Liverpool, they won a lot of games, and they pushed a lot of players to United, to us, to Wolverhampton, the team that stay very close.
Thanks, George. Charlie?
Just wanted to ask Antonio, the last few games you played the same team. It feels like a pretty settled 11 at the moment, and we expect it at the same time on the weekend. How hard is that, kind of managing the players who aren't playing but really want to be playing at the moment?
Usually, and yeah, for me, and I try to pick the best start 11, no? And the start 11 that in this moment can be more insurance, and to get 3 points. You understand? And but you know very well that during the season many situations can change, and we have a good squad, and I have to make the best decision for the team. And sometimes there are players that is a period that they are in a good form, another the form is not so good, and sometimes you want to change also to give a bit of rest. But in this moment, and we have only 9 games to play in the league. We don't have other competition, and yeah, I try to pick the best 11, and but at the same time, the players that stay on the bench, they know very well that they can change the game if I decide to send them into the game.
Do you get that sense that there are a few players who are pushing and really want to break into that first?
Yeah, but this is important. This is important, and to create. When you want to be competitive and you want to try to win something important, and you have to try to create a great competition into your squad, to have more players with good quality, more players that can bring, in my mind, more difficulties to decide, no, if one has to start or not. But this is the only way, and if you have only 11, 12, 13 players, and it's not good for the team, it's not good for the club. and it's not good for our target. But when you start to have more players and available, no, to change the game is important. It's the same like the 5 substitutions. Yes, and.
Okay, so we'll go to Ali and then we'll finish this section with Jonathan, please.
Antonio. Obviously, good news about Ryan Sessegnon, the skip, but have you had any other problems with some of the players coming back from international duty? Any little injuries or problems?
No. At this moment, we don't have problems. But for sure, Ben Davies come back from the national team for a little problem, but. He solved this problem and is available for the game against Newcastle.
We're just talking about the players, obviously, that aren't in your starting 11. Rob Page, the Wales manager, said that he knew you were watching Joe Rodon the other day, playing his match, and that you were very complimentary about his performance.
Yeah.
Just wondered if you could tell us a bit about that and also what you've made of Joe's season as well.
Yeah, but for sure, when our players go to the national team, the staff and I try to watch every game, to understand and the performance of our players. I think in this session of the game of the national team, and we have to be pleased because every players perform very well with the national team, and to see the performance about Joe Rodon, but also Steven Bergwijn with Holland, it means that maybe we are doing a great job with them, because you know very well that Joe Rodon and is not playing many games with us, no. And despite this, and he was fit, and Joe and he's a good player, but he's a really great man, because also when. It was a period that he has broken 2 ribs, no one, and he had every training session. He was always available, and I know very well the pain that you feel when you have you broken a rib, and it means that you are a great man, and Joe is improving a lot. I think that. He has to continue this way, to work very hard and to have this satisfaction, because I repeat, to play in this way with Wales and to an important game of for the qualification of the World Cup, and it means that you are working very hard, you are working well, and we are pleased. We are pleased that I always say this. I have a group of players that they work very well, they are very focused. You see the desire to improve, the will to continue to work, to improve the level. And when you see this, you can be only happy as a manager.
Johnny, we'll finish with you, please.
Hi, Antonio. Can I just ask about Steven Bergwijn? Because I mean, he scored those goals, and then he said in the summer he's going to have to see what's going to happen about his future because he's not been playing so much. Is he part of your long-term plans here?
You speak very quickly and many times for me it's very. But I'm sorry, but it's my fault. But yeah.
Is Steven Bergwijn?
Yeah, Steven Bergwijn. Okay.
Is he part of your long-term plans at this club?
But we are talking about players that a great quality, a great potentiality, and is a player that I always said to you that. Is different of the players that we have in the squad, no? Because it's very good in 1v1, in when the space is very short, and it's good to beat the man and to create chances, no? For him and for the other to score. And I think that Steven has great space for improvement, and he has to try to give continuity. And to continue to work in the way that he's doing, and because for us he's an important player, and this is the type of the player that if start off he came in, he can change the situation, and because a specific characteristic to create superiority and to create chances to score for himself or for the other. And he has to continue, and I think that he has to believe in himself more. And he's a young player with great space for improvement. He has to try to work, to continue to work, to improve with the ball, without the ball, and to help in every moment the team, because football is a team game, no? A team game, and you have to be ready to help the team in every moment, with the ball, without the ball. But for sure, we are talking about another players that is doing important improvement.
Thanks
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we'll move on to the embargoed section for 10:30.